Hey Sainers, welcome to Norwood Oval, Saints TV, review round 4. We got the job done. 7 points against the Tigers. You can see everyone's having a bit of a kick at the moment. I'm here with Jaden. We flew over this morning. We probably expected...
Three heart attacks later, I reckon.
That's probably minimum, to be honest. First quarter at least, probably the worst quarter we've played of football this season, or potentially under Ross Lyon.
Comfortably, I think.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
It just didn't look like we had a game plan. To me, it kind of looked like we took Richmond a bit lightly, maybe with their outs. They had their game plan. They played their Richmond way. Shai Bolton was doing everything right. They just took every opportunity going forward. And this was probably the tallest forward line that we'd played all season. Or maybe even under Ross. Caminiti, Membry, King, Sharm and Owens. I think that's the first time they've all played together.
And you can sort of see that in the first quarter. It looked like the structure was a little bit like who goes where, King pushes up, then who goes back. And it looked a little bit wonky at times.
Yeah. The second quarter, I think we kind of negated them, but we also didn't score that much ourselves. But that was the first step, was stopping the momentum. And I think for the rest of the game, we kept them to maybe 4 goals or 5 goals after that.
The majority of that was Shai Bolton as well. He had it
he kicked 4.
You got to point out class where it was.
Yeah,
and he was absolutely amazing. So I think the defense held up really well. I thought first quarter and a half were disappointing.
Yeah.
Ball use was awful. Trying to be handball happy. I think it was at points we were 1.5 handballs to a kick, which is not the ratio that we're wanting. And in the second half, it completely flipped.
Yeah,
and that was the difference.
It's probably 2 kicks to 1 handball ratio, which is more our style. And it just put the Richmond defence, which is undermanned, under more pressure quicker. And that just created more turnovers. We saw Higgins kick a goal. King, I thought, a lot of people critiqued him in the comments, but genuinely I thought he played a really good game. Disregarding a few of those set shots that he had, his work up the ground was elite. It's just annoying that it was up the ground and not 45 out directly in front. Sharman, I think, found it difficult today. It was one of those grounds where, again, no wings. You can see it, like how narrow that is. I think our wingers probably struggled, although weirdly enough, I think they moved more central.
Yeah.
Wilson moved more central. Brad Hill moved more central. I think he had 12 to 14 possessions in the last quarter alone.
Yeah.
They needed to play probably differently to what they're used to. And it was, again, like, if you look at it from a Richmond perspective, it was primed to be one of those games where Richmond football works. It's in a local ground.
Yeah.
The opposition's not in form. This is an opportunity for them to win as underdogs for the second week in a row. Because we can't forget they beat Sydney last week. So
yeah, and I think they played well last week.
They played well.
It was just, I think as you said at the start, it was the maturity that sort of we came in just sort of expecting it just to fall in our laps a little bit.
To be honest.
And the conditions, although it was bright sunny day, it was a swirly wind.
Yeah.
And I think we noticed that, especially in the first half. But the second half showed the maturity. Wilson had a great second half. Hill, Steele was good.
Wilkie picked it up.
Our top players actually put the foot down and said, "Let's follow me."
I got to stop you there because there's one bloke that needs big time credit, and I know he didn't probably have the hardest matchups today, but Zane Cordy was bloody outstanding today. He was one of the rare players, even in the first half, that was just comfortable under the ball, timed his run and mark or spoil at the right time. I think he had a spoil where he punched it and it went about 20 metres and it was as good as a kick or a handball.
He knew the conditions really well, timed his runs, either got the mark intercept or was able to, at least bring it to ground and give it to Naz, give it to Sinks. I thought Bonner had a much better game than last week.
Disposal kicked his goal. I think
they were very patient coming out of the back line, which isn't usually our style, but it worked with these conditions.
Yeah.
And that was the ultimate difference in the third quarter especially, and then especially late in that last quarter.
Honestly, Darcy Wilson, the way he went about it in that last quarter, he knew the game was on the line. He busted his gut. His disposal was really, really good. I think he finished with 18 or 19 in the end. And that crunching tackle at the end that probably stopped the goal was potentially game-saving. So for him to do that, I mean, that's just huge props to the young kid. And that's what happens when you give time to these sort of players. They're going to get better every week. And that was probably his best game outside of round 1 for the club when he kicked 2 goals.
Yeah, I think today was probably a little bit better because he worked. His effort was a lot better than in round 1.
He needed to.
And I think we've noticed so far, first half he's maybe not as prominent as what he maybe could be, but the second half is when he's he really shows his athletic ability, his endurance running, and the ability to create space, not just with 2-3 meters, but getting on, even on the short wings here, to get the 5-10 metres gap, so then it allows for the next step and the next pass and the follow through.
I think going into this game, we probably all felt this could be a potential banana skin. You know, it's at one of those grounds we never played at before. Richmond love that sort of scenario. They've had some momentum. I mean, they've had some players come out, but they're similar to us in that next man up sort of mentality where it doesn't matter if Tom Lynch is out there or not, they're going to give it their all, and they certainly did. Now we move on to some more bigger fish, where it's the Giants, who were very, very good today. Toby Green, we saw him this morning at the cafe, had a phenomenal performance, and that's a bit of a worry. Shai Bolton got hold of us. Toby Green is the same kettle of fish, even better. And I don't think we have a straight matchup for him, but we get the job done. 2-2. We've got, what have we got? Giants, Dogs, Port. That is a big 3-week Saners. We want to get some players back, potentially Paddy Dow.
So it's sort of like a 3-week
one.
period of 8-point games.
But
it's very early to call that right now, but
it's huge.
They're the difference when you look back at the end of the year, where like that game against the Bulldogs, that game against Essendon last week, same situation. These are the games, if you can pinch 2 or 3 of them, and get back on the ledger, well, then we're doing well.
And credit to Sinks. I mean, he's he's had a tough couple of weeks returning back from injury, but today he looked much more the Sinks that we know. Hitting targets, running through the midfield, connecting the dots. That's the Sinclair we want, and I dare say he's going to be even better for it next week, and we need him to against the Giants. So, quick review at Norwood Oval. Really good experience coming here. I mean, to be honest, the crowd was phenomenal. A lot of Richmond fans, a lot of Saints fans.
Nice and loud.
And we get the chocolate. So I'll leave it there, Sainers. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment your thoughts, subscribe, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.